Good morning and welcome back to DR Sports to give you your daily transfer update, of course. Remember to like the video, comment with your thoughts on what we're about to discuss, and subscribe if you haven't already. And it's a good time to press that bell as well, by the way, because any big breaking news that happens across Europe, or even the Middle East, I should say, in these days, we will have it covered for you. So make sure you press that bell to be notified as well. I'm going to talk about Manchester United here. A couple of bits to update you on since we last spoke to you yesterday. It seems as if goalkeeper from Inter Milan, Onana, will be sealed today, potentially, right? Last night, we learned that he had his goodbye meal in Milan. Inter and Manchester United are closing in on the final details of the deal, and all parties expect Onana to become the Manchester United goalkeeper in the next hours. We're almost there, right? And he did have his final dinner in Milan last night at Javier Zanetti's Botinero restaurant. Great promo for Javier there. He's left the restaurant with a signed picture, and he will be on his way. Now, what does this mean for Manchester United? Let's not forget, David De Gea joined 2011, 21 years of age, very slight. They've gone for a slightly different route this time. He's 27, as we know, experienced 27-year-old experienced goalkeeper, now got to a Champions League final last season with Inter Milan, played at the top level for Ajax as well. Going to cost them around about £45 million, we're hearing. There was interest as well from Al Nassr, but as we know, transfer ban for them. So what does this mean for Manchester United? Well, I can't lie to you. I like the look of this fella. He's good with his feet. He's almost a keeper sweeper, if that even... Well, I know it is definitely a thing. It used to be a big thing, but it's kind of faded away a little bit. But he comes from very good stock as well, right? He came through via the Eto'o Academy in Cameroon. That's his national team. 34 appearances for them. He made his debut in 2016, but he actually came through La Masia in Barcelona. So is it any surprise that he's good with his feet, right? He's been taught essentially from a very young age, from Barcelona youth, under 16s, to play out with his feet. I've seen a lot of clips of his distribution. He's ticking all the boxes, really, of the modern-day goalkeeper. And this is what Erik ten Hag wants the most at Manchester United. And let's face it, he's a lot better with his feet than David De Gea is. And I think it's a new era, right, for Manchester United. 27, he's still got 10 years maybe at the top if he plays his cards right, and he will be joining them today. Flex will be over the moon, as will KG. But if you're a Manchester United fan, let me know in the comments right now, how much hope does this give you that, I mean, let's have it right as well. David De Gea did win the Golden Glove last season, but how much hope does this give you in terms of having a goalkeeper who you can truly rely on in terms of playing out from the back, really good with his feet? He'll even draw players in. And yes, listen, there might be a couple of mistakes along the way. We've seen Alisson, again, who I think is the best goalkeeper in the world. We've seen him use his feet in very awkward situations. There's been a couple of scary moments, and there will be, because this is the way that modern goalkeepers play, right? You can't just be a shot stopper, which I think, I mean, De Gea barely was that at the end, in all due respect, even though he did somehow won the Golden Glove. But in terms of having a goalkeeper who, if you're a centre-back, let's say Varane, next season, he's going to be playing the ball back to Onana a lot, right? Who'll be looking for that kind of Casemiro pass through the middle, or can he find someone out on the wing? He's got a very, very impressive distribution technique. I would say he's a really good kicker of the ball, which I think is actually slightly gone missing, actually, in terms of how much a goalkeeper can actually impress you, right? We've seen the likes of, let's throw a couple of examples out there in terms of keepers that are very good with their feet. You know, as much as I don't like him, Jordan Pickford is an excellent striker of the ball. You look at someone like a Nick Pope, not the best striker of the ball, in my opinion, in terms of taking goal kicks, etc. But then you look at Onana, and he really does tick all the boxes. Not much he could have done in terms of trying to save that Rodrigo strike in the Champions League final against City. But born in 1996, he's 27, 2 years younger than me, which makes me feel very, very old indeed. But he will be joining Manchester United today. As we know, he did have his farewell meal last night at Botinero restaurant in Milano, at Javier Zanetti's Botinero restaurant, no less. But All parties, as we know, are expected to see this deal be passed through today. So it could be a very, very good Friday for Manchester United fans indeed. And the questions that I'm asking you, how much better is he on the ball than De Gea? How do you rate him as a shot stopper? That's still the most important thing you need as a goalkeeper. But how does this transform Manchester United's back line now for next season? Please let me know in the comments as well. Staying on Manchester United, we are hearing as well that Fred, right, the much maligned Fred, who has been criticised across the years, he is now looking like he will be joining Galatasaray, right? He's not going to the Saudi League. It looks like he will be going to Turkey, a very, very, very competitive, passionate league is the Turkish Super League. So Manchester United fans, is it time for Fred to finally move on? Again, we are hearing that it's Galatasaray, the team that he is preferring. We're also seeing that Angelino, the former Manchester City left-back, has also joined Galatasaray for a £1.5 million loan fee. So Galatasaray looking to definitely up the game for next season with a couple of well-known players. We're also seeing that Christian Pulisic is now a new AC Milan player. He will take the number 11 after, I think, Zlatan Ibrahimovic wore that. But there you go, Manchester United, player in potentially today in Onana, and it looks like it's a player out in Fred, and that might not be the end of it as well, with the rumours of Harry Maguire potentially leaving maybe on loan this summer. I actually have a bet with Flex, don't I, for 50 quid. I reckon that if, and again it's a big if Maguire does leave, I think no one pays more than 40 mil for him. Flex reckons it will be 40 or over. So again, it could be the start of a mass exodus at Manchester United. So player in, Onana, player out, potentially Fred to Galatasaray. Again, Fabrizio Romano guaranteeing us that deal, the latter, is very close to being done. Sepp van der Berg has completed a season-long loan to German side Mainz, a former Jurgen Klopp team from Liverpool. Looking forward to seeing how he does there. Rodrigo has now completed his move to Al Rayyan, a team that, you know, we spent some time out in Qatar during the World Cup. Looking forward to seeing how he gets on there. Also, massive news, this one, if true, is that Liverpool could be in for Caicedo if Fabinho and Henderson do go to the Saudi Pro League. Again, we're hearing that the Seagulls value the Ecuadorian at 100 million. So that's Liverpool ruled out, in my opinion. You don't get a midfielder for 100 million. Also staying in Italy, we're hearing from Juventus that Leonardo Bonucci, the captain fantastic for Juventus for so many years, Weston McKennie, former Liverpool star Arthur Melo, and Dennis Zakaria are now out of the Juventus first team, excluded and out of the project. All of them available on the market with immediate effect. Not a good look for Weston McKennie, who joined there with such promise. Again, wasn't part of much success at Leeds last season as well. But apparently we're hearing that Fiorentina are interested in Arthur Melo as a new midfielder. He will leave Juventus, as we now know he's out of thinking there. Again, just on the Fabinho stuff, we heard yesterday that it was picking up a lot. We heard that Nuno definitely wanted him at Al Ittihad. But I have to say, the negotiations are taking place, but nothing is done yet. No official bid has been sent to Liverpool at this stage. We know that they want 40 million for the Brazilian, but nothing concrete as of yet. We also learned last night that Bayern Munich and Tottenham have met. They went for breakfast, not the clubs, but the director of football for Bayern Munich went out for breakfast, I believe it was, with Daniel Levy in London to discuss the possibility. Still, no bids made in terms of, you know, being a bid really close to the valuation of what Tottenham actually want. He will look to join up with Tottenham on pre-season tour tomorrow. I believe Tottenham have got a very busy pre-season. So how involved does he get? Does he leave the camp at some point to maybe go and talk to Bayern Munich? We're hearing yesterday that PSG are also interested in him as well. Just on that Fred potential move to Galatasaray, the opening proposal has been submitted, but it was actually rejected by Manchester United as the transfer fee was below expectations. But as we know, Saudi clubs, Fulham and more Premier League clubs are also interested in Fred. So even though Galatasaray are a big fan of his, they want him, they're going to have to fight a little bit to get his signature as well. Also, we're hearing Aston Villa are in talks, big talks again with Moussa Diaby after their first bid was rejected. So they will continue to push for that one. And again, where will all these Juventus players end up as well? We saw Zakaria at Chelsea last year. Another little bit to update you on is Renan Lodi, who was on loan from Atletico de Madrid. He was at Nottingham Forest last season. He will now go to Marseille, right? And this is a full contract. This is no loan. This is to 2028, and Atleti will receive 13 million plus a 20% sell-on clause, right? Also, this morning we learned that AC Milan have entered the race for Arjen Danjuma, which is a strange one, really, wasn't it? He had this unveiling almost at Everton and then switched at the last minute to go to Tottenham. Really has not worked for him. I think he scored one goal in a cup, maybe. It might have been in the Prem, but I can remember him scoring one goal. And apart from that, nothing else. So we're understanding that he has now met again with Everton and with Feyenoord, okay? So Arne Slot wants him as well, and Sean Dyche is potentially back in for him as well, but it's a big couple of days for him. The decision is expecting soon. But Tottenham fans, are you disappointed with that? They promised a lot more than what has actually been delivered. One firm signing that we can guarantee for you, again, I was at the playoff final, I saw Luton jumping up a league into the Premier League. They have completed their first signing of the summer. The deal is sealed now for Tai Chong, right? We know him from his Manchester United days. He was obviously at Birmingham. If you ask Birmingham fans, they would say he showed real glimpses of quality, but nothing too concrete. And that is a 5 million plus 5 million add-ons to Birmingham. So there you go, Luton making their first deal of the summer. Good news for them. Right, as we know, again, we'll keep you updated with everything. The last bit to tell you about, we've heard so much about this kid, Alex Scott, from Bristol. We know he's a top target in midfield. Liverpool were linked with him, but we're seeing that a new proposal will soon be submitted by Bournemouth, right, after a £15 million bid was rejected. We also heard that Wolves weren't ready to pay £18 million for him. And we're also hearing as well that Wolves could be interested in signing Quifin Kelleher, the number 2 goalkeeper from Liverpool. So again, all that stuff, let me know how you feel about it all in the comments. And again, of course, we'll be back tomorrow. But until then, take care.